Hello everyone. Welcome to this Best Practices Conference Introduction webcast. My name is Don Frederiksen, and I would like to invite you to attend the SharePoint Best Practices Conference that's scheduled on May 15 through 17. Specifically, I am here today to discuss my session, which is entitled Show Me the Numbers, 5 Principles for Creating Effective Data Visualizations. I'm delighted to participate in this year's Best Practices Conference, and I'm looking forward to sharing what I have learned in my work. In the last 5 years, I have had multiple opportunities to engage with business leaders in the design and creation of performance dashboards. When you have a dashboard project, there are many elements, there are many challenges. First, you find yourself working with business leaders to determine the metrics and those key performance indicators, the KPIs that will drive business, that will drive growth, and that will drive opportunity. Your dashboard needs to be aligned with the strategic efforts of the business in that regard. After you have those metrics, you need to show the numbers. You will want to create data visualizations that clearly communicate the data story, and that story that drives performance and will drive business and will drive the type of growth that your business is after. Now, I presume you're asking, well, who is Don Frederiksen, and what is his experience in this data visualization space? Well, first, I have 15 years of experience working, leading, and designing business intelligence efforts, including work in manufacturing and service companies. In those 15 years, I have led and deployed dashboard efforts in 2 companies. And in this session, I'm looking forward to sharing some of that insight for effective visualizations and charts. I'm currently an IT manager and data architect at H.B. Fuller in St. Paul, Minnesota. H.B. Fuller is a global provider of adhesives and sealants and other specialty chemical products. And we serve customers in a variety of industries, including packaging and hygiene, paper conversion, woodworking, construction, automotive, and consumer businesses. We operate in 43 countries around the globe. Wherever you are listening to this discussion, you're likely using products that are held together with H.B. Fuller adhesives. It might be that bead of hot melt glue that secures the top of your cereal box, the adhesive that bonds your young children's diapers, or it could be the adhesives that are used in the assembly of the doors and windows or your shoes and your books. Now, going back to data visualization, in my work, I have learned a lot from my dashboard experience, but I've also had an opportunity to learn from some of the most respected thought leaders and practitioners in this data visualization field. When you seek direction and insight in data visualization, you will certainly encounter the work of people like Edward Tufte and Stephen Few. And I feel blessed that I have had an opportunity to learn directly from both of these giants, along with other leaders in the field. However, this area can be complicated. It's a complicated space. It requires data skills. It requires design skills. It even requires a bit of an artistic eye. It's further complicated because our tools today, the tools that we use to create our visualizations, provide us with so many options. Now, we could be talking about SharePoint tools, Performance Point, or Visio services, and we can also be talking about Excel and ClickView and tools like Tableau. With these tools, you have countless options in chart types and presentations and colors, and frankly, the temptation to create, bright and shiny objects and be tempted by cleverness rather than clarity. In total, it can be a complicated space, with many opinions from strong personalities like Tufte and Few frequently weighing in. Now, what I wanted to do in this best practice presentation was to distill this design and development challenge down to a handful of principles. Call them guiding principles that you can use to tell your data story. And in doing this, it will help you make effective choices in your chart types and avoiding adding distracting bling to your charts, and helping you choose colors and generally making good design decisions. Importantly, I wanted to make the principles accessible to business leaders and analysts. I wanted principles that did not require you to be a graphic designer in order to make good design decisions on the charts and graphics that you create. Now, the basis for this presentation is a set of 5 guiding principles. The presentation will discuss and describe these principles. We'll show you examples where the principles work and where they don't work, where principles aren't followed, perhaps they're abused, and where communication was unclear. All right, for example, I'm just going to give you one takeaway, one quick discussion around one of those principles. I propose in one of my principles that when you create your charts, that you should take advantage of visual elements that are hardwired in your brain. At the same time, those elements that are hardwired, you also want to make sure that you don't abuse those elements. So when you consider the concepts that are hardwired, it can impact the chart types and the colors that you use. In some cases, you'll want to avoid using elements that are hardwired because it makes it challenging for your audience to break through this hardwiring. So let me give you one quick example in that space. So as an example, perhaps you're working with a sales and marketing leader in your business in order to get a picture of your market leadership. And picture in your mind a map of the United States. And in your dashboard, you're trying to convey your company's market penetration or market leadership by state. And you really have 2 levels. One is you'd like to identify where your company's products or services have a market leadership position. And the second, where you identify states where there's room for growth. So now you have a United States map with 2 colors that represent leadership and a second color that represents growth. Now, something that's hardwired in your brain, and this is probably due to the, due in part to, the efforts of our 24/7 cable news environment, is a map of red states and blue states. If you follow politics and elections, you can almost picture that map of the United States with those red and blue states. The hardwired principle suggests that for your map of market leadership, don't use red and blue. That's a hardwired concept that's already taken. In fact, when we get into our principles on color, this map is probably better communicated with changes in intensity along the same color choice. For example, you might choose a dark blue for market leadership and a lighter blue for your growth states. In some cases, in a case like this, you get a clearer picture using using 2 intensities along the same color choice. So in my best practice presentation, you will learn these 5 principles that you can use to drive your data visualization design and help you to create charts and visualizations that communicate clearly and effectively. In closing, we hope to see you at the conference. It's going to be a great opportunity to learn best practices in a range of SharePoint topics. And in my case, learn these guiding principles for effective dashboards and charts. We hope to see you there, and I hope to see you at my session, which is entitled, Show Me the Numbers, 5 Principles for Creating Effective Data Visualizations. See you there, and have a great day. Thank you.